true scary haunted house story. Willow Creek case file. The property at 119 Ashgrove Road, Willow Creek, Pennsylvania, sits at the edge of an old timber district. Quiet, remote, and largely forgotten. Locals still refer to it simply as the house. For decades, it's been the center of persistent rumors, a missing couple, strange noises, lights that flicker when no power runs through the lines. The official case file describes it as a residential disappearance. But as investigators later admitted, the evidence didn't fit any known pattern. What began as a simple welfare check in late October of 1998 would become one of the county's most enduring mysteries. Ethan and Mariah Lowell were the last recorded residents. They moved into the house that summer after purchasing it through a small real estate auction. Ethan was a part-time electrical engineer, fascinated by older architecture and do-it-yourself restoration. Mariah worked as a speech therapist at the local middle school. Friends described them as quiet but genuine, type of couple who kept to themselves and paid their bills on time. According to their families, they wanted to leave the city behind, slow down, start over somewhere peaceful. Willow Creek, with its still woods and affordable homes, offered exactly that. For the first few months, everything seemed normal. The Lowells sent postcards, hosted a small dinner with their nearest neighbors, and filed routine maintenance requests with the utility company. Then, in mid-October, neighbors noticed something unusual. The house went dark for several nights in a row. Curtains remained closed, mail collected in the box. When a welfare check was requested on October 29th, police found the front door locked from the inside. No lights, no sound. What they found inside was described in early reports as undisturbed but unnatural. Every room was neat. The television was unplugged, dishes stacked. Clock stopped at 3:11 a.m. In the kitchen sat two mugs, both half full, both moldy with age. The couple's car was still in the driveway. Their phones were inside, but the Lowells themselves were gone. The search began immediately. Deputies canvassed the area, interviewing locals and searching the nearby woods. Dogs tracked a faint scent as far as the tree line behind the property before abruptly losing it. No footprints, no drag marks, no forced entry. Investigators noted one anomaly: the basement. Downstairs, beside the fuse box, lay a notebook, what appeared to be an activity log written by Ethan. It contained weeks of handwritten notes describing electrical fluctuations throughout the house. One entry, dated October 15th, mentioned hearing frequencies inconsistent with household current. Another referred to a constant low hum at night. The final page contained only a single sentence: "He's in the house again. I can hear him moving." The handwriting was uneven, pressed so hard into the paper that it tore through in places. Forensic analysis could not confirm who wrote it. Theories spread quickly. Some believed it was a case of carbon monoxide poisoning leading to paranoia and disorientation. Others suspected a break-in, though nothing valuable was taken. But one detail complicated every hypothesis. All doors and windows were locked from within. For weeks, law enforcement and volunteers scoured the surrounding woods, draining a nearby pond and searching abandoned wells. Nothing. The case stalled, and by winter, the property was sealed pending further investigation. When officers returned months later to collect leftover evidence, they discovered a faint residue on the basement wall. A thin, dark smear shaped almost like a handprint, too high to have been placed naturally. Chemical analysis was inconclusive. The Lowells were declared missing, presumed dead, in 2002. For nearly a decade, the house remained vacant, its windows broken by wind and vandals, the roof caving slowly inward. Then, in 2011, it was purchased by a new family, Daniel and Elise Harper, along with their two young children. The Harpers knew about the property's history, but dismissed it as rumor. Daniel was a contractor, confident he could restore the home structure. Elise was a teacher, drawn to its rural quiet. Renovations began in early spring. Workers replaced insulation, reinforced beams, and repaired the staircase. It wasn't until week 3 that one of the crew, a carpenter named Curtis Hale, noticed a sealed hatch beneath the basement stairs. It was flush with the concrete and nailed shut. When opened, it revealed a shallow compartment containing a burlap sack and a rusted tape recorder. The bag held fragments of glass and a small toy car. Out of curiosity, Daniel cleaned the recorder and inserted a new battery. The tape played for just under 40 seconds, faint static followed by a low, steady hum. The sound didn't resemble machinery. It was organic, almost like someone breathing through their teeth. That night, Elise reported hearing the same sound coming from beneath the floorboards. Their son later claimed to have seen a figure near the edge of the woods, a man standing perfectly still. Over the next month, events escalated. Doors opened on their own. Tools went missing and reappeared elsewhere. Family photos fell from the walls. At first, Daniel blamed structural vibrations from ongoing renovations. But then came the mirror incident. Elise, while preparing for work one morning, noticed movement in the hallway mirror behind her, a reflection of a man standing several feet away. When she turned, no one was there. The reflection, however, remained for several seconds before fading. That afternoon, she filed a report with the sheriff's department. Deputies searched the property again. They found no intruders, but one officer later admitted that while standing alone in the basement, he heard quiet movement upstairs, even though every door had been locked and both children were with their parents outside. The Harpers stayed 6 months before moving out abruptly. They left most of their belongings behind. No further reports were filed. By 2013, the house was once again abandoned, and nature began to reclaim it. Vines climbed the siding, and water damage spread through the upper floors. Then, in 2016, the county received an anonymous envelope containing a cassette tape labeled Case File 141WC. There was no sender, no return address. The recording lasted under a minute. It began with silence, followed by static, then a man's voice whispering clearly, "It's not the house that's empty." Audio technicians confirmed the background frequency matched the same low hum described in the Lowell's notes. In response, authorities reopened the case as a courtesy review, but with no physical structure remaining. The house had collapsed partially that winter. Evidence collection was limited. The remains of the foundation were photographed and sealed off. To this day, the original recording, the Lowell activity logs, and the recovered artifacts remain stored in the county archives. Local historians later discovered that the property predates most of Willow Creek. In the late 1800s, it was part of a mill worker settlement owned by a man named Charles Haldren. When a typhoid outbreak swept through the camp, dozens of unmarked graves were dug near the current site. Haldren and his family vanished shortly after. No formal records exist of burials or transfers, but soil analysis conducted during demolition revealed traces of lime and organic matter consistent with human decomposition. Developers who purchased the land in 2019 described frequent mechanical malfunctions during early excavation. Equipment would power down suddenly, compasses failed, and ground-penetrating radar produced inconsistent readings. During one of those surveys, a worker uncovered a small tin box buried less than 2 feet deep. Inside were 2 items: a Polaroid photograph of an unfurnished living room and a cracked glass jar filled with dark liquid. The photo's timestamp was faded, but the room layout matched the original Lowell house. In the reflection of a window pane, investigators noted the blurred shape of a human face. The liquid was tested. Results indicated traces of iron and organic proteins, consistent with blood, though degraded beyond DNA identification. The object was labeled and stored. The official file was closed once more, but accounts from residents of the new duplexes built on that property tell a quieter story. Several have reported hearing faint humming sounds through the floors at night. Maintenance logs include repeated service calls describing low mechanical vibration between 3 o'clock and 3:30 a.m. One entry reads, "The sound moves when you listen." No cause has ever been found. The Willow Creek property is now cataloged as Parcel 22B. Its history remains largely redacted from public record. What began as a simple disappearance evolved into a mystery without resolution, one that continues to ripple quietly through local rumor and police folklore. Today, when researchers play back the original cassette from the Lowell investigation, a faint secondary tone can be heard beneath the static, rhythmic, deliberate, almost like a breath. It has no measurable frequency. It isn't electrical interference. And yet, those who've heard it claim they can still recognize it in everyday noise, in the hum of lights, in the whir of distant engines, in the quiet vibration of empty rooms. As the county archivist noted in her final annotation, every recording of that sound eventually corrupts. No copy remains stable. It's as if the frequency itself refuses to be contained. The case remains unsolved. No trace of Ethan or Mariah Lowell has ever been recovered. Only the hum remains, steady, constant, and still without a known source. And according to the last note in the official Willow Creek case file, anyone who's heard it tends to hear it again, even years later, even far from the house, especially when they think they're alone.